Hi, welcome back to the Zen Barre for your Autumn Beginnings workout. This workout is all about clearing out old energy to make room for new energy to enter. The essential oil blend that you can use to diffuse during this workout or even wear on a piece of jewelry is called Autumn Beginnings, and it is comprised of bergamot, clove, cardamom, and Roman chamomile. You just want to choose one oil to use as your grounding oil for this particular workout. Bergamot is a great choice. It's extremely uplifting, has notes of citrus, and will just bring that extra boost of energy to your workout. So I have bergamot oil here, and I'm currently diffusing Autumn Beginnings in my workout sticks. So today is going to be a full Zen Barre workout, and we're going to start off with our warm-up, move into the rest of the exercises in a traditional sequence. I also have on hand, besides my oil, a set of light hand weights. I'll be using 2.5 pounds, and I have a couple of bars around me to use as a sturdy surface. You can use a chair, countertop, couch, you can even use a wall. So we have minimal equipment. I'm on a carpet, but you might want to have a yoga mat, just something soft for the knees and for the back. So we're going to get started just by setting our intention or by repeating an affirmation. I have provided an affirmation for this particular workout, but you're free to use any affirmation of your choosing. This workout is focused on clearing out old energy. So if you want to set your intention or your affirmation based on that theme, that'd be great. Otherwise, feel free to do whatever feels right to you in this time. The affirmation we're going to use for this workout is, I am clearing out old energy to make room for the new. So welcome to your Autumn Beginnings Zen Barre workout. So we are going to get started with our Sun Salutation Warm-Up. So I'm bringing my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to inhale up, exhale, release down into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold again, coming into a plank position. And I'll turn my body on the next one so you can see. Lower your body down, come up to upward facing dog, and then push back to downward facing dog. Right leg in, bring the left leg in, come on up to stand. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. I'm going to inhale up, exhale, forward fold, bending the knees. Inhale, half lift, small bend in the knees. Exhale, come down to plank position, really pushing through those palms. Inhale, exhale, lower yourself down, coming to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog, really pushing the thighs toward the chest toward the thighs. I'm going to have you inhale to plank. Exhale, bring that left leg forward into low lunge. And you can just move through this movement, or you can just stay static. It's up to you. I'm just going to move through just because it feels good to open my hips. I'm going to switch legs, so back to plank. Right leg moves forward, and I'm just going to do a nice little lunge here. Both of my hands are on the inside of that leg. Let's come back to a plank. Back to our low lunge. We're going to cut that movement in half. Back to plank. Back to low lunge. A few little pulses on the right side. Back to plank. Push back to downward facing dog. Really trying to get those hips up nice and high, stretching the fingertips nice and wide. Step forward with the right, step forward with the left. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to plank. Inhale while you're in your plank. Exhale, lower yourself. Upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Do that little moving sequence again with the lunge. This time bring the right leg forward and moving through. Bring the right leg back, left leg forward, and we're just moving through here, really opening up through those hips, lower body. Bring that right leg forward again. A few more pulses on this side. Left leg forward one more time. Breathing, getting the oxygen to those muscles. Left leg back to plank, pushing through the palms of the hands. Push yourself to downward downward facing dog again. Left leg forward, right leg forward. Come on up to stand. We're going to do 2 more sun salutations to really warm that body up. Inhale up, exhale fold. Inhale half lift. Exhale to plank. Inhale downward facing dog. Bring up your right leg for a one-legged dog here, really opening up through that hip. That leg down. Other leg up for one-legged dog, opening up through the hip. Bring that left leg down, pushing through the body. Walk forward with the right, walk forward with the left. Last one here. We're going to inhale up, exhale fold. Inhale half lift. Exhale, come down to plank. Lower yourself down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. This time pedal the heels. Opening up through the backside body. Really pushing through the upper body as well, through those shoulder blades. And let's bring the right leg forward. Left leg forward. Hang here and ragdoll for me. Even grabbing onto the elbows and swing side to side. And very slowly roll up. Inhale up. Let's walk our legs out to a nice wide second position here. Knees are tracking toward the back wall. I'm just going to do a few little pulses just to warm up the inner thighs, outer thighs, keeping a nice tall proud chest. Breathing. I want you to come all the way up here into a wide second position. Plie down. Inhale up. Get a good stretch. Plie down. Inhale up. 2 more. Plie down. Inhale up. Plie down. Last one. Inhale up. Plie down. 1 more set of pulses here. Bringing your arms out to the side. Bringing them in front of you in a first position. Out to the side in a second. Or even up to fifth on O. And we're just doing a few little pulses here. And now we're going to very carefully bend the legs. Walk those feet back in. And grabbing onto your sturdy surface, we're going to start our workout here, our lower body work. So I'm going to use multiple positions, multiple bars here so you can see me from every angle. So we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the outside leg, which is my left leg. Keeping a nice tall proud chest. Keeping those shoulders traveling down the back. You can keep your arm on your hip or bring it out to the side. I want you to keep a nice straight leg here. Maybe tilting that hip bone forward. And all we're going to do is just lower and lift. Lower and lift. We're going to do a working count, a working set of 8 here. Inside leg soft bend. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a turnout. So that inner thigh is going to come toward the ceiling. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to lower and lift. So we're going to do working sets of 8 for everything in this class today. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 little pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and give me a hold, really pointing through that toe. Bring the leg down. Now, let's bring it up to 90 degrees, still pointing through the toe. Tap the toe, lift the leg. Still staying nice and tall and proud through that chest. Tap and lift. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Get ready for little lifts here, little pulses. Just 8. Last one here, just hold for me, hold. Now let's combine those 2 moves, okay? Actually, we're gonna add a bend stretch. So we're gonna lift, bend, stretch, and lower. Lift, stretch, bend, lower. Let's do 8 together, really getting a nice long leg. Lift, bend, stretch, good. Lift, bend, stretch. Almost halfway, lift, bend, stretch. Last 4, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Last 2, lift, bend, stretch. Last one, lift, bend, stretch. lower. So now we're gonna switch sides. So give your legs a chance to stretch out. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna start with my feet hip width parallel, soft bend in the knees, just drawing those hip bones forward, shoulders traveling down the back, nice proud chest here. Bringing that leg nice and straight in front, pointing through the toe, arm can be anywhere you want. We're just going to tap the floor and lift, tap and lift. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, get ready to pulse it. 1, 8 pulses, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, just give me a hold, really tighten up through that quad, release. Now turning the legs so that the thigh is facing the ceiling, lift and lower. Just 8 working here after I set you up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here. Give me 8 little pulses. Then a hold. Breathe. Proud chest. Last one here. Let's hold it, really pointing through that leg, nice and long and strong. Release down. So now we're going to bring that leg to 90. Ready? So we're going to lift up to 90. Just give me a toe tap. Lift, toe tap. Lift, toe tap. Inside leg, soft bend. Working count of 8. And we pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, get ready, 8 pulses, then a hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, just give me a nice hold here, nice and proud through that chest. Now we're going to do our little combo. So we're going to tap, lift, extend, bend, down, up, extend, bend, down, up, extend, bend, down, up, 4 to go. 4, up, extend, bend, 3, extend, bend, 2, you've almost got this, and 1, extend, bend. So we're going to do that same set again on both sides, except this time we're going to move through more quickly now that you know the sequence and the setup. So let's just start with our little straight leg lifts here. Just 8, 7, 6. So toes pointed forward. And then we're going to pulse. Trying to move through a little bit more quickly. 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me a hold. Awesome. Release down. Give me a turnout. Slight turnout here. 8 little lifts and lowers. And we pulse. 4 to go. 4, 3, 2, 8 little pulses. Then we hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Really point through. Release down. Now our 90-degree lift. So up to 90 and down. Lift, lower. I'm trying to stay nice and tall through that chest. Lift, lower. 4 more, then we pulse. 2, 1. 8 pulses, then a hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me a hold here. Awesome. Okay, now we combo. Ready? Lift, extend, bend, lower. Lift, extend, bend. You've got this. Lift, extend, bend, lower. Lift, extend, bend. Last 4. Lift, extend, bend. 3, 2. Last one, best one. And stretch it out. Maybe swing it. We're going to move on to the opposite side here. Same 4 exercises, starting with our just straight leg extension. Nice and tight through that belly. Lift, lower, just 8. Soft bend in the inside leg. Nice proud chest. Shoulders traveling down the back. Last 4, then we pulse. 3, 2, 1. Little pulses. Then we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Now we turn out. Ready? Get that inside thigh here. Just regular lift and lowers for our one working set. 7, 6, 5, 4. Get ready to pulse. 2. Last one. 8 pulses, then a hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me a hold nice and long and strong through that leg. I know it's shaking. Okay, now 90 degrees. 8, 7, 6, 5. You've got this, and we pulse and hold. We have one more move after this. Last 2. Keep it up, little lifts. 4, 3, 2, hold, release down. Now, lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend. You've got this. Lift, extend, bend. We're halfway. Lift, extend, bend. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really stretch. Get it and down. Good. Stretch it out. That's all top of the thigh work. We're going to get back, but let's do outside thigh with a little bit of LOTTE inspired. I always get it mixed up. Inside out. So we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to bend both knees softly, reaching across our body like our arm is a seatbelt, and leaning over to the side with our opposite arm. This leg's going to shoot out from the hip. I'm going to carefully relax it here in the hip socket with a soft bend here behind my leg. The inside leg I'm trying to keep straight, but mine usually bends. Just do what feels right, okay? I want you to be successful in this move. The key here is outside thigh and a little bit of hip action. So we're just going to start by doing little lowers and lifts, nice and easy. We're going to do a working count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep that leg up and little pumps up. Just 8 of them once we get it going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend it, extend it, little bend. Extend, little bend. So now that we've got the motion, let's do a working set of 8. Ready? 8, little bend. 7, 6, 5, 4. Try to lean if you can. Get the waist in action here. 3, 2, 1. Keep that little bend behind the knee. Do little dime-sized circles forward. Tiny circles. Count of 8. 4, 3, 2. Reverse the circle. Let's do a couple to get started. And we'll do a working count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend. Give me that happy flex foot and just lift. 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 Working count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a lean and a hold. Really stretching out behind that knee. Relax and shake. So it goes without saying, and I oftentimes have to find myself keep reminding people to take breaks and reset form as needed. I can go through these moves fairly quickly. I've done them a lot. So if you're new to any of these types of moves, please take the appropriate time to reset your form. If you're falling over, and join me. Take breaks at any time. This is your workout. Okay, opposite side here. Feet are going to be slightly wider than hip distance. Neutral spine, but we want to always remember to keep that belly nice and tight here. Soft bend in the knees, reaching across ourselves like a seatbelt, bringing this arm over. So I'm bending into this knee, but I really should try to straighten it. Mine is just going to naturally bend until I have the strength. This leg's coming straight up from the body. Soft bend in the knee so that hip's rolling forward slightly. And we're just going to start with our lower and lift. Let's get going before we do our working set here, making sure we're all in good form. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg up high. 8 lifts up. Let's get the momentum going and then we'll count. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to stretch it to straight, tiny bend. Stretch it to straight, tiny bend. stretch, bend for 8, 7, 6. Keep those abs tight, shoulders traveling down the back. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Keep that little bend in the knee and little dime-sized circles forward. Trying to keep that inside leg as straight as possible. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Reverse the circle here. Let's get it going before we count out 8 good ones. 8, 7, 6. You can see my inside leg shaking. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch to straight. Happy foot lift. Bending over in the waist. Feeling that waist. 8, 7, 6. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2. Just give me a hold. Maybe stretching over a little bit more in that waist. Keeping that leg nice and straight behind. Release down. And give yourself a stretch. Whew. My heart rate's up. I hope yours is too. I'm going to move this bar back so that we can do our glute work. So we're going to do some standing glute work here today. I just worked my right leg, so now I'm going to work my left. So I'm just always trying to rotate in between sides just to keep everything nice and even and safe. You can also take a quick water break whenever you need it. I may be getting one myself after this glute work here. Let's just do a quick little quadricep stretch to release those quads. So I'm just bringing my knee as far as I can behind me, flexing through the foot. And let's do the same thing. If you need to hold on to something, which apparently I do at this point, please feel free to do so. Okay, so we are going to, we're going to go to calves first. I kind of jumped ahead of the choreography. So let's do a little bit of calf work here. We're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. Soft bend in the knees, and we're going to, again, always keeping, this is neutral spine here, so not too far forward, not too far back. But think heavy tailbone, think abs in and shoulders down the back. All we're going to do, nice and easy, lifting up to the balls of the feet and then lowering down. So I'm not quite touching the ground, just kind of hovering here. And if you can always come up as high or low as feels good to you. Let's do a nice count of 8 here. Here's our working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, stay nice and high. Give me 8 lifts up, 8 pulses as high as you can. And then we'll do a nice little hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. Maybe bring those hands to prayer. Holding everything nice and strong. Pulling the quads up off the knees. Release down. Let's come to first position. So I'm bringing my heels together, opening up into a little V. I'm going to come up onto the balls of the feet. Try to walk the heels close together. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to come down and up. Full range here. This is what I call full range. Not touching the ground, but just kind of kissing and coming up. Down and up. Down and up. Let's do a count of 8, a nice count of 8. 8, 7. Then we're going to do little pulses at the top. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2. At the top, 8 little pulses up. Let me hold. 4, 3, 2. Give me a hold here. Maybe bring one or both arms off whatever surface you're holding on to. Really drawing everything up in those legs. Come on down. Bring it to second. So all I'm doing is my feet are still in turnout, and I'm just opening them up a little bit wider here. Same thing. Come up to the balls of the feet. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. You got this. Lift. Lower. Let's do 8. Then we pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 pulses and we hold. Little lifts here. I know it's starting to add up. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top. Really squeezing everything together. Release down. Let's do one more set, but we're not going to do the same thing. We're going to single it out. So I'm actually going to wrap my right foot around my left ankle, and we're going to do one leg. So we're just going to go down, up, down, up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 pulses. I know this is a little bit harder at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me one more. Nice squeeze, nice hold here. Down, and now I'm going to wrap my left foot around my right heel. Single, down and up. Big full range to start, and then we pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top. Come on down. Let's do one more set where I'm going to combo those moves for you. So I want you to bring your feet together in a first position. What we're going to do is we're going to come half, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Half, up, down, up. Half, up, down. So I'm not touching the floor on my all the way down. Half, up, down, up. Half, up, down, up. Let's do 4 more. 3, then we'll hold. 2, 1. Stay up tall for me. Bring those heels together. I want you to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings, squeeze the calves, squeeze the quads. Maybe bring those hands to prayer. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Now let's give ourselves a quad stretch. So I'm being careful because I'm not on a sturdy surface, but I'm stretching through the back of the leg, getting the heel to the floor. Same thing here. Stretching the heel back to the floor. Now we can get into our glute work. So we're going to work left leg first so you can see, and then I'll swap sides. So we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart, soft bend in the knees, drawing those hip bones forward to keep everything engaged. We're going to do standing glutes, and I want you to bring your leg, point the toe, bring it up to 90 degrees. And all we're going to do is just bring it back and forward, back and forward. So the knee is not coming in front of the other knee, trying to keep those knees parallel. Still got that soft bend in the supporting leg. Let's do 8. 8 pushes back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I want you to make this move a little bit smaller. So keep the leg back and just do like a 1-inch press back. If you want to, you can flex through the foot. I find I get more engagement with the toe pointed. 8 presses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it there. Now bring that leg back to meet the other one, lifting to the side and lowering. So we're getting the glute med here. Lift and lower. Try not to dump all of our weight on that supporting leg. 8 lifts. 7, 6, 5, 4. Get ready to pulse. 3, 2, 1. 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a hold there. Now I'm going to bring that leg back, straighten it out so those hip bones are shining forward. And we're going to do a little, like a tail wag. So we're going out, squeeze in, out, squeeze in. So here I want you to think inner thighs. Out, squeeze in. Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now little squeezes in, so keep that leg nice and tight. Just squeeze in. And I'm bending in that supporting leg. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg nice and straight. Arabesque lifts. Down, up, down, up. Trying not to hold on to our bar for dear life. Working set of 8, then we pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 little lifts at the top. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me that hold while I set you up for the next exercise. Ham curls. Bend, extend, nice and slow. Bend, extend. We're just going to do 8 of these. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it bent, pump up. Little lifts. Really engaging those glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Release, give your legs a little bit of a shake. And we're gonna switch sides. So I'm just gonna move my bar around. Same exercises on this side. Once you get in that nice setup form, then we'll do our working set. Okay. We're gonna have those feet hip distance apart, soft bend in the knees. Again, keeping everything nice and engaged through that middle back, keeping the shoulders nice and down. We're going to bring this leg up so that the two knees are in line with each other. And we're just going to press back, bring forward. Press back, bring forward. So we're feeling this all in the backside body, all in the glutes. All right, let's do a nice working set here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now get ready to make this motion smaller. Okay, so we're just going to make it small. Little 1-inch movements back and forth, really engaging the glutes, keeping that core nice and tight. Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee back, right? We're going to lift out like a hydrant, come back. Keeping those hip bones shining forward so you know they have a tendency to flail out to the side. Lift and lower. Ready? Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it high, 8 pulses. Lift. Really keeping everything nice and straight. Supporting leg is still bent. Working set. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down. Now extend it nice and long and strong behind you for our best lifts. Everything is nice and square to that bar. Lift and lower. Soft bend in the supporting knee. Just tapping the toe, lifting through the glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and high. Little pulses up. Lift, lift. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Ham curls. So we bend and extend. We're working the hamstring, working behind that knee here. Bend and extend. Point through the toe. Working set. 8, 7. Soft bend in that supporting leg. Never want to get that leg locked out. Last 4. Then we pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Get ready. We're going to do our working set here. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Release. And we're going to give ourselves a little stretch. We're going to move on to upper body next. But before we do, let's stretch. So I'm doing figure 4. I'm crossing my right leg over my left, sitting down into those hips. And I'm feeling the shakes everywhere, so I hope you are too. That's completely normal. Crossing the left, oops, my earbud fell. I'll grab that. Left over right. And I'm going to now bring my hands to my sturdy surface and just give myself a nice big L stretch. So I'm making a big 90 degree with my body. And I'm bending one knee and straightening the other leg. Just to you, where it feels good for you. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Last one. Bend and straighten. You want to bring your hands down to the ground. Bend your knees. Roll on up to standing nice and safely. I'm going to move my bar out of the way. And we are going to do some seated arm work today. So seated arm work is great because it gives you a chance to work each side independently. So we're going to kind of switch back and forth between sides, and then we're going to do triceps together at the end because it's just a little bit more intuitive to do them together. So I'm going to grab my 2.5 pound weights and I'm going to grab a sip of water. Because I need hydration too. Okay, so you can start with whatever side you want. You can sit, I like to sit in a kind of a pretzel position. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your knees. Sit with whatever way is comfortable for you. Make sure you have your hand weights nearby. So You're gonna work, I'm working right side first, I'm right side dominant. And we're gonna just start, you can leave your hand on your knee or you can bring it to your side. We're just gonna start by lifting and lowering. So I'm not bringing the weight all the way to the ground, and I'm trying to keep my shoulder away from my ear. And if you find it creeping up, you're gonna have to probably drop your weights. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little pulses here, little pulses at the top. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip the palm, bicep curl. So I'm trying to keep that arm up nice and high at shoulder height. And we're squeezing and extending. Squeeze and extend. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. 90-degree goal post here. So I'm just going to extend it and bring it back to 90. Extend, back to 90. Extend. Let's do 8, 7, 6. We're going to pulse on this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little pulses at the top here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Our working set is coming up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Give it a shake. Now we're going to do the frontal plane of motion. So we're going to lift. I have a soft bend in that arm and lower. I know my leg's kind of in the way, so I'm not coming all the way to the ground. Lift and lower. Get ready. Let's do our working set, and then we pulse after these. 8. Same exercise as we did just a second ago, just in a different plane of motion to get the opposite, the outside shoulder. 4, 3. You don't want to give you extra. 2. And 1. Flip the palm. Oh, sorry, we forgot to do our pulses here. I'm getting ahead of myself here today. I think I'm just in a rush. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bicep curl. So if at any point in time you're like, oh my God, Jen, I just need a break, take it, right? I'm ready. We're going to take a break after this because we're going to switch sides. 8, 7, but if you need a break before that, please take it because they do add up. 4 more. 4, then we goal post, then we switch sides. 3, 2, and 1. Goal post here. So here, we're actually going to reach over and pull back to 90. So I'm doing a little bit of a lean on that supporting arm, not too much. I really want to engage my shoulders, engage my biceps, engage my upper back. 4 more, then we pulse. 3, 2, 1. Now we're just gonna stay over and imagine we're like pumping our fist in the air here, like we're at a concert or something. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. So now we're gonna switch, and you can switch positions of your legs. You can do whatever feels good to you. We are going to come back to this arm before we stretch, but we're going to give it a little bit of a rest. Same thing on this side, lifting and lowering to the front. Soft bend in that elbow, yeah, you can do a soft bend in the elbow. Don't need to lock it out completely. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses at the top. Then we do our bicep curls. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip the palm, bend, and extend. Keeping that arm up nice and high at shoulder height. Bending and extending. Good. Bend, extend. Let's do our working set here. 7, 6, 5, 4. Then we go to goal post. 3, 2, and bring it out to goal post, lifting, back to 90. So keeping that shoulder from creeping too high up into that ear. If it is, we want to drop that weight or use no weight at all. Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of a shake here. And I'm going to just do a few little reps to kind of warm you up. Soft bend in that elbow. I'm going to bring my hand here for a little bit more stability. Lift to shoulder height and lower. Working set. 8, pulse. 7, we're almost there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 pulses to the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip the palm, bicep curls. So we get a little bit of a break here on the contraction. Extend, bend, extend. Let's do 8 more. Then we goal post. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going nice and slow to really give you that movement, not the momentum. Ready? We goal post to the side. So we come over. So we're getting a good little stretch here. So we're getting some stretch, some strength. Stretch and strength. Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Get ready to concert pulse that arm. Ready? Leave it to the side. Pulse. Pulse. Try not to lean too much on the supporting arm. 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Give it a shake. Let's switch arms again to work the a little bit more shoulder and some back. So some of the rhomboids there too, and the lats. So we're actually going to come across. I'm going to keep my arm as straight as I can, and imagine I'm just like sweeping that weight across the table. So we're going to just sweep and bring it back. Nice and slow and controlled. Try not to let momentum get too crazy here. Sweep, and let's do another set here of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're doing awesome. Last one. Now bring the arm out to your diagonal and then pull back on that same plane. So we're reaching and pulling. Keeping it at shoulder height. Remember, working shoulders, upper back. Reach and pull. Ready? Let's do our working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bring our arm to the side here. We're going to reach and squeeze. Reach and squeeze. So imagine we're getting like trying to squeeze like a little pencil behind us, or half a pencil at least. Let's do 8 more, and then we switch arms. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Now let's switch sides. We're going to do the opposite side. Same exercises here with the sweeping across the table. Do a few to warm up, and then we'll do our working set here since you're already familiar with the moves. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're reaching out to the side and we're pulling back. So reaching and pulling. Staying on that same plane. Reach, pull, set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Awesome. Bring it down. Now we're going to do the side reach and the squeeze. So we're squeezing that elbow behind us. So extend and bend. Don't extend so far out that you lock out the arm. Soft bend, extend. Working set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to do triceps in a minute. I wanted to do some push-ups before we moved into tricep work. We're going to do 2 sets of push-ups with the child's pose stretch in between. I like to do mine on my knees, but you can do them on your feet. You can do them on a bar or a wall for a little bit more stability. So I'm just going to bring my arms slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and I like to, like I said, not bring my hips too far down, not bring them too far up, so kind of in between. And I am going to do 8 full range, bending at the elbows and pushing up, keeping my gaze just a little bit in front of those fingertips, and I'm keeping my belly nice and engaged. Let's do a working set of 8, pulse and a hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down low, give me 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Give me a hold here. See if you can bend those elbows just a little bit. Hold. And let's relax back into child's pose. I'm opening my legs nice and wide and really stretching my arms long and strong in front of me. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale. And we're going to do one more set. Same thing. You can bring your arms a little bit closer if you want for tricep push-ups. I like to keep mine at that same distance. I find I get the best range of motion and feel it through my pectorals. All right, are we ready? 8 full range. Down and up. Lower. Really pushing through the palms of those hands for the last 4. 3. Gaze in front of those fingertips. 2. Last 1. Come low. Give me 8 little pulses. We got this. 8. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Give me a hold. Maybe drop a little bit lower. Hold. And push back into child's pose one more time. This time I like to flip my palms up toward the ceiling. You do what feels good to your body. This feels good to mine. All right, so let's come on up and grab those weights. We're going to actually kind of do a modified version of something we've done before. So I want you to kind of come into a low lunge here. And this is just to give us some stability through the core and through the upper back as we do tricep work. We're going to work triceps together. So at the same time, I want you to bring your arms to your hips, and we're just going to do a 90-degree kickback and bring it back. So I'm going to twist my body just a little bit more. You can lean a little bit more on that thigh. Just keep that belly engaged. Keep it from falling out. Let's do 8. So I'm just stopping at the hip. So bend, stop at the hip. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're just going to do like a little bend extend. So I'm not coming all the way toward the hip. Just trying to keep those arms up nice and high. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the arms long, right? Nice and straight. Lift an inch, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Let's do our count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's do little circles in. Tiny quarter-size circles, dime size if you can. So I'm circling in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release and switch legs. Same moves again, except we're going to reverse the circles on the last one. So start at 90, kick back. 90, kick back. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little bend stretch, little flutter here. Really concentrate on the move. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the arms nice and strong. Lift an inch, lower. Lift, lower. Count it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now opposite circles. I went in last time. Now I'm going to go out. Reversing my circle. It's okay if you don't. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And because I love me a good hold, let's just hold everything long and strong. I have my palms up to the ceiling. Hold. Maybe come a little higher in those arms. 3, 2, and release. You can get rid of the weights. We're done with those, so put them out of your way. We're going to do a couple of sets of tricep dips and then a stretch of the arms before we move into our mat core work. So this workout is flying by, hopefully for you as well. Okay, again, sip of water, take a break at any point in time. My feet are hip distance apart, my fingertips are facing forward. I'm engaging my shoulders by squeezing them together. And what I want you to do is bend, really put a lot of weight on those elbows and push up. So keeping the weight on the upper body because we're working those triceps. We're going to bend, push. You can always do these in tabletop as well, which would be up here, but I like to do them on my bottom. 8 working, 7, then we pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold back, pulse. 8, 7, little move here, just really concentrating on those triceps. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself up for a little bit of a break. We're going to do those same 2 again, and then we're going to end with a hold because, just because. So come on back. Push, lean back, push forward. Lean, push forward. Lean, 8 more. 8, 7, then we pulse. 6. Try to keep those bellies nice and tight. Shoulders down the back. 4, 3, 2. Last big one here. Now really rest the weight on those arms, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold. Pushing as much weight as you can. So I barely have any weight on my feet. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow. Let's give those arms a stretch. Mine are like, please. Bringing my right arm across my chest, keeping the right shoulder away from my chin, and taking a gaze out over that right shoulder. Nice deep inhale in, exhale out. So releasing that old energy out to make room for the new. Yay. Bringing the arm behind the head, grabbing onto the elbow, holding on the elbow first. And if you want a little bit more in that side body, tilt to the side, bringing the gaze up to the ceiling. And release. Let's get a little bicep stretch here. So all I'm doing is pulling down on my hand. You could pull up, you could alternate back and forth, or do whatever one feels good to you. Let's do opposite side, bringing my left arm across my chest, taking a gaze out over that left shoulder, giving it a stretch. Bringing the arm behind the head, grabbing onto the elbow, pulling ever so gently on that elbow, leaning to the side, and I like to take my gaze up to the ceiling. And let's come center. Give ourselves a little bicep stretch. We will do some shoulder rolls. So we need to release those shoulders, roll them down and back. Let's do a nice chest opener, bringing the hands out, open up to the side. And because I can't help it, let's just take a nice lean while we're here. And lean the opposite way. It just always feels so good to release those muscles after we strengthen them. And that's what they want, to stay long and lean. We have to lengthen after we strengthen. All right, so let's grab your mats if you haven't already. We're going to come down and do our mat and core work. So we're going to start with my favorite bridges. So I have my feet hip distance apart. I'm rolling down I'm probably going to roll down a little bit more down. But let's bring the heels so that they're just grazing the tops of those middle fingers, okay? This is going to be our starting position. We're going to do a couple of different things with the legs. Bringing my hands down to my sides, or you can leave them on your hips to make sure that you're keeping them steady and honest. We're just going to lift so that we have a nice long line down the body. We're not overly arched. And we're going to bring the bottom down and kiss the floor. Lower and lift. Really squeezing the glutes at the top. Keeping that belly nice and engaged because this is also core work here. Sometimes I just like to keep my hands here to remind myself to keep that belly engaged. 8 more, then we pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, squeeze those glutes, 2, and 1. Now little pulses at the top here, little pulse. Squeeze, squeeze. Now while we're doing this, I want you to imagine the inner thighs are pressing together. 8 squeezes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold up. Now, I want you to bring your right leg off the floor. You can leave it at 90 or you can extend it all the way up straight. It's up to you. So now we're going to lower and lift. Lower, and I'm bringing my hands to the floor for a little bit more stability. 8 more, and then we pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, feeling it in the left leg. 3, 2, 1. 8 pulses at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now give me 8 little circles one way. I'm going to go both ways. 8, 7, 6 with that extended leg. 3, 2, 8 circles the opposite. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last move here. So I want you to wag that tail. Bring your leg out, squeeze it in. Bring it out, squeeze it in. Out. So you're really feeling that supporting leg working here. That's what you should feel it the most. 8 more. You switch legs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring the right leg down. Bring that left leg up either to 90 or completely straight. Lower, lift. The full range here to start. Then we're going to pulse. Lower and lift. And bending at 90 works completely well too. 8, 7, you'll feel it both ways. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now little pulses at the top. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Get ready to circle. So I'm just circling little dime-sized circles with that extended leg. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse the circle. 8, we wag our tail. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out, squeeze in. So this gets inner thighs too. Out, in. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to end the way we began. 1. So bring those feet back down, readjust, find those heels, lift, lower, full range. 8, then we pulse and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, pulse. 4, 3, 2, and hold, squeezing the buns, squeezing the inner thighs. Hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down, hug those knees into the chest, bringing the knees out to your underarm area just to get a little bit of release here before we go into our final section, which is our ab work. And if you want to cross one knee over the other and give a pull in to release those glutes. And then I'm crossing my opposite knee over and I'm pulling in. And you can rock back and forth, you can just hold. Just do what you need to do to release those glutes. Okay, so I'm going to stay nice and low on the floor here. And we are going to just do a 2 count lift and lower crunch, okay? So the low back's on the floor, my knees are hip distance apart, and I'm just going to come up for 2 and lower for 2. So lift, 2, lower, 2. So So I'm looking at my belly button. Inhale, 2, exhale, 2. Inhale, 2, exhale, 2. 8, 7, pushing the weight of my head back in my hands, looking at the belly button. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, stay up with those head, neck, and shoulders. I'm going to extend my left leg out. You can bring it as low or high to the floor as you want to. All we're going to do is just lift. Lower. Lift. Let's do a working set. Then we switch legs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1. Switch legs here. Lift. Lower. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down. We're going to do some bicycle type exercise. So basically I just want you to bring one knee into the chest and then switch. If this is too much to keep your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, you can leave them on the ground too. This is a nice lower body exercise, lower core exercise. And if you lift the head, neck, and shoulders, you get the rectus abdominis engaged a little bit more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, dead bug. So, dead bug has a couple of different variations. We're gonna lift the knees up off the ground, and if you just want to do the legs, you can. If you want to incorporate the arms with it, you can. If you want to lift the head, neck, and shoulders, you can. I like to keep my head, neck, and shoulders down, and I'm gonna do opposite arm and opposite leg. But you can do just legs. You can do just arms. This is great again for the lower abdominal region, keeping that low back down on the ground, and my gaze is up at the ceiling here. We're gonna do 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's work obliques a little bit here. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. I'm going to bring my left hand behind my head, and I'm just going to lift and lower. Lift, lower. So we're not bringing the shoulders all the way back down to the ground. Just lift, lower. Let's do 8 more, then we switch legs. 7. Last 4. Side, so cross the left leg over the right hand comes behind the head, and we're trying to get that elbow to the knee. Lift, don't come all the way down. Lift, lower. Lift, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's do one more exercise here for the obliques, and then we're going to repeat that series. We're going to be able to move through it a little bit more quickly the next time. So I'm bringing my head, neck, and shoulders up, supporting them with my fingers, and I'm just going to do like a little windmill here. So imagine I'm trying to get my elbow toward my foot. Just go side to side, gaze at the belly button, low back on the floor. 8, 7, I'll let you count the rest down your head. I'll let you know. Okay, so let's give our body a second to stretch out. And what we're going to do next is we are going to do that same series again, but just a little bit more quickly this time, okay? So we started with those crunches, those 2 count crunches. Feet hip distance apart, low back on the floor. Let's try to move through them a little bit more quickly. So we're going to do a count of 8 of everything. Up 2, down 2. Up 2, down 2. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Perfect. Okay. Let's extend that left leg, and we're just going to crunch up, lift, and lower. 8, 7. We're keeping my gaze at my belly button here. Lower back down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Switch legs. Extend the right, lift, and lower. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax down. We're going to do bicycles now. So bringing those knees into the chest. So we're just going to bring one knee in and swap. One knee in and swap. And again, you can keep head, neck, and shoulders on the floor if you want to. One leg in and swap. It's like a modified bicycle. 4 more. 3. Then I'm going to work dead bug. I'm going to do one more. I think I was off. One more never hurt, right? Okay. Whew. Legs up to 90. Arms up to the ceiling. And we're just going to alternate. Or you can just do the legs in isolation. Or you can do just the arms in isolation. Or you can lift the head, neck, and shoulders off. I like to just kind of do what I'm doing here. Wanting to feel that. Let's do 4 more. 4. And we've got the low back on the floor. Gaze up at the ceiling. 2 more. And we work obliques. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, obliques work here. So let's cross the right over the left. And we're going to reach for the knee here. Reach elbow to knee. Keep the chin off the chest. 4 more, then we switch. 1. Switch legs. Left over right. And we're lifting. We're not coming all the way back down to the ground. Really, on the exhale, we lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Relax down. And we're going to do our windmills. Okay, so low back down, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Just leaning to each side here. Imagine the elbow is touching that foot on the opposite side. 4 more. And we lead into stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. This is one of my favorite stretches from the original LOTTE BERK work. We're going to actually bring the soles, it's a little bit more ab work too. Bring the soles of the feet together here in a long diamond shape. Low back is on the floor. We're going to bring the hands behind the head, neck, and shoulders. Okay, so we're just going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Let's do 8 more. 7. I promise this is leading into a stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch those legs out. See? Stretch those arms overhead. Maybe rolling in and out through the spine. So we're arching the back and pushing it toward the floor. You can arch that back now. Keeping it in that low position for a very long time. Bring those knees into the chest. If you can, roll on up. If you need to push to the side, that's fine too. Do what works for you. So we're going to inhale up, exhale, stretch. Inhale up, exhale, stretch. So bringing opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhale up and exhale, stretch. Inhale up, exhale, stretch. So I want you to roll back down to the floor. And we're going to do a little bit of happy baby. So you can do a half happy baby. So I'm grabbing the inside of my foot and bringing it up toward the ceiling. Or you can bring both knees. And use the elbows to push the knees out. Really opening up through those hips. I know it's not the most attractively ladylike position, but it gets into those hips. And you can rock back and forth in this position. Or you can stay steady. If you're doing half happy baby, swap legs and use the one you were just working and bring the other one up. It just feels good to get this kind of stretch here. And bringing the knees together. Again, we're going to roll up and we're going to come forward. We're going to do a nice wide straddle stretch here. So open those legs up, bringing the arms behind you. I want you to push your body forward and really keep the foot flexed and just release the head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe pushing forward, maybe grabbing onto the shins or the ankles. And you can hold the stretch here, or you can just do little pulses forward. You're going to stay here and you stretch for about 30 seconds or so. Just prepare your body to cool down. And it's in this time that we can remind ourselves of our affirmation to release the old energy to make room for the new. Very carefully walk your hands up your legs. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, I want you to fold over the left leg. And I'm bringing both my hands to my left leg as far as I can. Keeping the feet flexed and just rolling over. I feel that really allowing my head to hang heavy is a great way to stretch out through my upper back and my neck, where I tend to hold a lot of stress and tension. If I want to release that old energy, I need to take the time to stretch. Very carefully walk your hands up your body. Again, inhale up, exhale. Fold over the right. I'm trying to bring my left hand in front of my right. Stretch a little bit further through the upper body, but you can always do the opposite. What feels good to you. Just try to challenge my stretch. Challenge my body a little bit, not too much, every time I stretch, so that it allows for more flexibility. Together. Inhale up, exhale, fold over. As far as you can, same thing. Grabbing onto wherever's comfortable. And you can do little pulses like I'm doing, little fold overs, or you can just hold. Do what feels good to you. This is your opportunity to individualize your stretching practice. Because not everybody is built the same way. Very carefully walk those feet up, those hands up the legs, bringing the feet into butterfly here, grabbing onto the ankles or the shins, using my elbows to kind of open up in those inner thighs, which we did work today. And again, you can just hold here, or you can do little butterfly pulses with your legs, or you can do little fold. Stretch is yours. Make it your own. Going to come up to your knees if you can, otherwise you can stay in a cross-leg position. We're going to end with our three breath hold and another repeating of our affirmation for today's class. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up, joining the hands in prayer, bringing them down to heart center. Let's remind ourselves of our affirmation today. I am clearing out old energy to make room for the new. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope that you feel energized and refreshed and that your autumn is off to a great beginning. And feel free to do this autumnal beginnings workout any time of the year, anytime you need a refreshment and some clearing out. Thank you again for joining me here at the Zen Barre.